Piers Morgan has reacted furiously after the BBC did not show the World Cup's opening ceremony as part of their Qatar vs Ecuador coverage. Piers Morgan has blasted the BBC after the broadcaster did not show the World Cup's opening ceremony in Qatar as part of their coverage for the opening fixture between the hosts and Ecuador. The programme, which aired on BBC One, did not start until 3 p.m. in the UK, just 1 hour before kick-off at the Al-Bayt Stadium in Doha, and the ceremony had virtually finished by the time Gary Lineker appeared on TV screens. The call seemingly irked Morgan, who has now hit out at the decision with a strongly worded message posted on his Twitter account, which also seems to dig at long-standing broadcast rival Gary Lineker. He tweeted, "Outrageously disrespectful to Qatar that the BBC didn't broadcast the World Cup opening ceremony and instead put out more virtue-signaling guff about how awful it is. If they are that appalled, they should bring home their vast army of employees and spare us this absurd hypocrisy." A BBC spokesperson has since responded to criticism by confirming the ceremony was shown on iPlayer. Full build-up and coverage of the World Cup has been available across the BBC, including the opening ceremony on iPlayer. Lineker started the BBC's coverage for Qatar vs Ecuador by openly criticizing the host's human rights record and shameful treatment of migrant workers, meaning the build-up to the Group A opener was largely dominated by discussion centered around off-field issues. Following the opening monologue, Lineker later described this World Cup as the most controversial in history. There was an engaging discussion centered around Qatar's discriminatory LGBTQ+ laws with Alan Shearer, Alex Scott and Ashley Williams, who were all in the studio to provide coverage of the World Cup opener. Lead presenter Lineker also declared that he would be ignoring FIFA's stick-to-football message that has been delivered prior to the tournament as he looks to shine a light on some of the political issues the World Cup has presented. Morgan would later double down on his claim when one supporter responded to his tweet by writing, "I'll disrespect Qatar every day of the week." To which the 57-year-old replied, "You can do what you like, I'm not obligated to pay a license fee for your output." Speaking recently on the news agents, Morgan defended his decision to work at the World Cup in Qatar, whilst also defending the host nation amid fierce criticism. "I'm going to Qatar, I'm doing some punditry for FOX for the England-USA group stage," he said earlier this month. "My show is aired in America and England, so why wouldn't I? Also, I've got to say, a lot of this sports washing debate is laced with rank hypocrisy. I mean, I wrote a column last week going through all the problems the countries in the last 32 have. For example, 8 of the last 32 countries, that's a quarter of the countries in the World Cup finals, outlaw homosexuality. That's 1 in 4 countries. So if you're going to use that as the stick to beat Qatar with, you have to then beat the other 7 countries." Thank you for watching our videos. Subscribe to our channel to get notifications when we post newest videos. Thank you and goodbye.